Come here, Paul.
He's mad because he hates it.
Paul, come here. No, not on the bed. Not next to the graphics card. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera right there. Say hi. Hey, what's up everyone? Danny here. At the end of the $250 Budget Build Showdown, I barely took the victory with a build that came out to a grand total of $130. It was a little bit of a risky move on my part to only use half of the budget, and I'll admit that I got super lucky that when it came down to judging, price to performance was taken into account and not just raw performance. A lot of the people in the comment section asked me, why didn't you use the rest of the budget? And here's my answer. I didn't go into the competition with the mindset of only using half of our targeted price point. It just kind of worked out that way because this was a timed competition. There was a deadline and I had to meet it. One game time decision after another just kind of led up to a grand total of $130. Had I found better parts, I would have just used more money, but that wasn't the case. And the funny thing about that is that in the final weeks of the competition, when we already built our systems, we benchmarked them, we had all of our footage, and we were just editing them, getting them ready to upload, I came across this. An MSI Twin Frozer R9 290X for $140 shipped from Reddit Hardware Swap. This would have been perfect for the build had it come around a little bit sooner. The competition is done and over now, but that doesn't mean that we can't check out what could have happened had the timing been a little bit different and I got my hands on this instead. So let's throw it into the system and see what could have been. Since we're removing the GTX 660 from the system, let's deduct $50 from the cost. Then we'll add in the $140 for the 290X, bringing the system total up to $220, and that includes all taxes, which in this case is not applicable, but it does include the cost of shipping since the graphics card was bought on Reddit Hardware Swap. When it came to swapping the cards out, I ran into a slight problem. The 290X wouldn't fit in the system due to the hard drive cage being in the way. It's pop riveted in place, so it can't just be unscrewed. The rivets have to be drilled out to take out the hard drive cage. I didn't want to make any changes to the case because I don't know what the end goal of the system will be yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it and use it, sell it, or even do more tests with it. I wanted to leave it in the most pristine condition as I could, so I did the next most reasonable thing to get this to work. I was able to get a stable overclock of 1100 MHz on the core, which is about a 7% overclock. Anything over that resulted in artifacts. With the system up and working, it was now time to run the benchmarks to see how those were affected. And I did the exact same benchmarks with the exact same settings so that we can kind of have an apples to apples comparison. What I'll do is I'll show the old scores with the GTX 660 and then the new scores with the R9 290X and then the percent delta so that you can see the differences between them. I also added in a run of GTA 5 at very high settings because we already saw the GTX 660 do very well at normal settings, and since the 290X is multiple tiers above it, I decided that we should push it a little bit more, so very high settings was what was recommended when I put it in, and that's what we're going to go with. So here are the benchmarks, enjoy! So that wraps it up for the benchmarks. As you probably have noticed, I did not include Cinebench in there. I did test it with the 290X in the system, but I got some really weird results that did not make sense at all. The CPU score dropped, and not just by a small amount within a reasonable margin of error. It dropped by a noticeable 10%. Also, the OpenGL test made no sense because the 290X is definitely way more powerful than the GTX 660. After seeing this, I did a little bit more digging to see what was up. If you look at the scores during the build competition, I noticed that 4 of us had i5 2400s, but we all got pretty drastically different scores. I then looked up scores online from a way bigger pool of users and also found that many people with the same CPUs at the same clock speeds were getting noticeably different results. And there were even instances where more powerful graphics cards were getting lower scores in OpenGL. So for the time being, I'm going to stop using Cinebench until I get a better understanding of why this is. That's going to wrap it up for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, that'd be awesome if you can hit that like button to show your support, and that sub button if you haven't yet, if you want to see more similar content like this. So let me know in the comment section down below, which version of this build did you like better? Did you like it when it was a $130 build, or did you like it in its new $220 form? Let me know down below and why. I'd personally go with the $220 version because in most of these tests, the 290X was being utilized on par with the i5 2400. And even in GTA, once I have the settings, the CPU bottleneck wasn't that apparent. Also, if anyone has any explanations as to why the Cinebench results were so weird and wonky, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below because I cannot explain it for the life of me and I want to figure this out. But other than that, that's going to be the end of this video, so thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the comment section as well as in the next video. Bye. It was just something that happened because this was a competition that, oh my goodness, YouTube comments messing up my recording. Luciano Ryder, why?